artist struggle for his integrity is a kind of metaphor, must be considered as a metaphor for the struggle which is universal and daily of all human beings on the face of this terrifying globe to get to become human beings. It is not your fault, it is not my fault that I write. I would never come before you in the position of a complete.
Peace. Another Tuesday night Poetry Corner. We here. Want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Click, share, and subscribe to the channel so you can get those notifications. All right. Right now we have Coach Jrob Smalls. We got the brother Unique, and I'm your host, King Atterbury. So tonight's discussion is, what do you do when your lines get crossed creating your poetry? That's deep right there. You know what I mean? Deep. Yeah. What do you do? Do you send a prayer up to the God Almighty? You know what I mean? For the spirit to get raised up and lifted? Do you meditate? What do you do? Or do you find inspiration? Brothers, I'm gonna start with you, John. It's been a minute.
No doubt.
The mic is yours.
So really, like for me, when I get to that point, you know, I love Google. So I Google strange things like how many shades the color brown has, things like that. And I think it's 129 shades of brown. So, you know, I Google something real wild or something that most people don't really think about. I never knew chestnut and hickory and peanut were actually colors. You know what I'm saying? And so I'll Google that. And then as I work my way through that, I'm finding a way to, okay, what am I going to match this to or compare this to? And then I kind of somehow or another just throw a piece in there. So I just go look for something that I don't normally think about. And I just snatch it up and just kind of roll with it like that.
All right, I feel you on that. That's what's up. See, I just learned something. Color, hickory, and you know.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's peace right there, brother. Unique. Unmute your mic, bro.
Usually, I base things off of the things that's undetermined. You know, things that we say that are inexplicable or whatever the case may be. And I use my imagination, you know, deliberately for the simple fact that the things that we think sometimes ain't reality could be real. And then I'll face it head on and then I'll just deal with the abstract of it. So then I just put my own spin on it and just, when somebody asks, like we talk real talk, I give you a definition to find something that makes sense to me that deliberately will give you a confused state where, you know what, that may be right. So now I got you.
Yeah. I feel you on that, bro. I know myself, when my lines get crossed, when I'm a sound blaster, man. You know what I'm saying? Clear audience. You know what I mean? So I listen to different sounds and all that type of stuff. So when they get crossed, I just crisscross them. You know what I'm saying? And just you know, untangle them and just be like, okay, because the music, man, it you can, it's just like going into like some type of spiritual trance or musical trance. You know, when you absorb all that, the bass lines, the rhythmic patterns, the melodies, everything is just beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now me personally, I'm out of the funk. I'm like, yeah, okay, let's get it, Joe. You know, it's like you psych yourself up, yo, let's get it. You know what I mean? But sometimes those lines do get crossed. You know what I mean? When you trying to get in that zone.
And it's funny that you said that because the unconscious state of mind is sometimes the best state of mind because you're never prepared for where you're willing to go to. And that's what gives you that comfort because that thump becomes a rhythm and you don't realize you following a rhythm that sometimes that may make sense to nobody else, but just to you, that's your balance. And you go off, you take flight from there.
Yeah,
that's right. Wings on your back. I mean, All right, we have the minister in the building, Mr. Keisha L. Peterson. How you
Hey,
doing?
fine. And you? How you guys doing?
All
I'm
right.
good. How you
We
doing?
good out here. We good out here. We was just talking about what do you do when your lines get crossed creating your poetry? And you step right into the platform. So it's right on you, not to put you on the spot, you know what I mean? But
You step back and take a breather.
huh?
You step back and take a breather. You know, because sometimes you gotta, you gotta relax because you in the, like you said, you're in that zone. And you're like, yeah, I got it, and you writing and you doing it, and all of a sudden, nothing's there.
Yeah, that's true.
Just
You can't be
been
out.
there, did that.
You can't be out here having an Eddie King Jr. moment. You know what I mean? Thinking you still got it. Well, you can just go out there and
Right.
get it and be right there. Be talking about nights like this.
I can't.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what's up though, you know. But I would like to go a little in depth with that. Like, what can we bring to the audience and let them know like these are some options for you, some strong options. So I'm gonna go back to you, brother John.
So like for instance, when I'm facilitating a workshop, right? One of the things that I do first, you come to my workshop, you cannot be 5 minutes late because you already missed the beginning part. And I do what's called a word dump. And the word dump is just that. You just, whatever's on your mind, you get it off. Just write whatever's on your mind. It doesn't have to be a poem. It could be scribble, scrabble. It could just be the chaos of your day, whatever it is. Because I don't believe in writer's block. Because you can always write something even if it don't make sense. So writer's block does not exist. The moment you tell yourself that, you just told all the cells in your body that you have a block. Because I don't care how bad you feel like you can't stay on topic, you can write something down on paper. So writer's block does not exist. However, just like driving down the street, sometimes there's a fork in the road, sometimes it's raining too hard, sometimes it's a red stoplight, sometimes it's traffic. So you have to get that out of your way so you can move forward. And so that's part of what I do. If I can't find it, I just do they call it a word vomit. I just get it all out, and then you just, that's the process of restarting your system.
Hey, amen to that, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's true. We just had a conversation a couple of days ago with someone saying that they get writer's block. Sometimes you just halt the process. You might want to be one of the type of people that want to be, complex, intricate with it. Just let it flow. Just, it's not like you said, there's no such thing as writer's block, but to some people it might be, but to each his own, but
Maybe that's just the word that we call it.
But a lot of people are very strong out there with that. Oh, I got writer's block. I can't write. I can't create. But I'm gonna go with you, brother Unique, and we get right back to you, Minister.
Well, usually what that case may be, like when I challenge people, that gives them more insight to who they are, as far as being able to not put themselves in that frame of mind to actually allow themselves to be useful. So that word challenge and wordplay has a way of expression, so that gives them the ability to flow. And most of the times when most writers, they try to make things rhyme. So if you use metaphorically speaking majority of the time, that's self-explanatory, but then you can bounce off of that and use that as the introvert of making things on a whole different level, because that's like you sitting there rhyming, and man, I heard that before. So I'm gonna give you something like when you hear and we hear each other give out, our symphonic measures of words, it gives you a different insight because nobody sounds the same. Nobody can sit there and say, I heard that before. And that's my whole idea coming to the table when I give my stories. I do storytelling. So if I'm gonna give it to you, I'm gonna give it to you so you can make your mind useful. I'm not gonna give it to you flat based and give it to you in your face, because if I give it to you in your face, you pretty much know the ending.
I feel you on that. You know what I mean? True facts. All right, Minister, what you got to tell? What you got to tell the audience out there, or invite conversation to them?
Well, I mean, like I said, sometimes it's just a word. The problem is we grew up listening to certain words, learning certain words, and I'm trying to see, like Josh said, you know, it's no such thing as writer's block. Maybe at that time my mind just went blank,
Mm-hmm.
and because we were taught, oh, that's called writer's block. Well, and as I'm thinking about it, Josh, you're right. It's not blocked. It's just not there yet.
Right.
The finishing touches just did not fall into my mind as of yet. Because I tell you, I have gone blank several times.
Nah, I dig it. I
So,
can dig it.
and so I encourage for people who are out there trying to write, and whether it's poetry, stories, songs, if you are in the midst, you're in your flow, and all of a sudden it disappears, step back, relax, go take a shower, go get a massage, go get your hair done, do something that will uh, reignite those creative juices to get them flowing again.
Yeah, recalibration is serious. You
Hmm.
know, I know. I learned to write under a lot of mean conditions working in healthcare. You know what I mean? So that's why I very rarely found myself in writer's block because I went through training days. You know what I mean? You writing under them extremes, bells ringing, people talking, all that type of stuff. So if you could write under those measures, then you good. You know what I mean? As we say, we good out in them streets. You know what I mean? But look, we holding this conversation down and whatnot, but let's get into some poetry. I know the audience out there, the fans, they want to hear some of that good stuff. So not everybody at once, you know what I mean? Like, who gonna go first? All right, Jrob, we gonna throw you out there, brother.
That'll work. No
We'll
biggie.
see you in a minute.
All right, let's go here. Oh, Selma, from the sweetest blossom of your camellia to the shining of your statues, the bridges holding names layered in history no one wants to claim. To the canines who sought pleasure, teething against black skin, black bone, flesh that perished from broken hearts and American privilege. To a city wavered not against sundown towns, for seek and destroy sounds a lot like good morning in the South. Appears between breakfast and gathering for supper, a city known to hold racism as close as toothpicks and chewing tobacco. A place where hatred finds a sweet tooth as often as patrol cars find black neighborhoods, or lynchings, or picnics because black eyes should never meet white faces, black lips should never whistle out loud, and any given Sunday would do. Black man, black woman, black child in Selma, in Philly, in Charlotte, in Brooklyn. Why do silence bring your heartbeats? Levy complexion pinning dark versus light, black versus white, 3/4 versus anyone who can claim citizenship or non-black America. Anyone who forgets the word printed on government paper, convenient like colorblindness, or Christian when justice says my palms are dirty. After the deed, after the bomb, and the 4 girls met God before church service. A Memphis high schooler hid in the boiler room, and a policeman's shotgun had too many bullets, and Trayvon and Tamir, the mass graves of black skin, singing Michael Jackson's theme song. They don't care about us. Another soul snatch, a family broken, voices cascade the length of a bridge they cannot cross. We shall one day, but not today, not till after the gun. After lead found a neck to call a home, before his speech, So a king saw God before the sun hugged the moon. Now a hotel once became a crime scene. Now it's a national treasure, a museum when someone's son won't see tomorrow. Selma grew old. America grew American, kept her secrets folding over triggers and broken smiles, hoods that mirror amendment papers and presidential secrets. Those quoted constitutions no one's listening to. But it's good old Selma and good old Rosewood and Tulsa and Black Wall Street, deep in the heart of Texas. I've read too many stories. Heard Black history spat on like a Mississippi dirt road. They do it now just as they did then. And still we rise, but only after another man dies.
All right, bro. That's what's
Great
up.
snap. Great snap.
Yeah, that was tight. Definitely A1, brother.
Cool.
Thank you for that.
Interesting.
All right, Minister, we're gonna come with you. I'm crisscrossing the lines.
Okay. So I have a new one. So I figure I come with something new tonight. And it's called Skin to Skin. Flesh to flesh, a dance of desire. Senses heighten as flames grow higher. Skin to skin with every touch. Passion ignites as we clutch. There is no one to judge or condemn as we explore this sacred hymn. We are free to revel in pleasure as we fulfill our carnal treasure. For this moment, we are gods as we revel in our primal odds.
All right. Go on, Minister. Go on with yourself. All right, Brother Unique.
It's weird that we sat here and spoke about what we talked about earlier about the inappropriate mental of other people for what we see. I wrote this piece called I'm Not the Representative. I'm not the representative as I am, according to undetermined. I'm human at no fault, animal by nature, reasons to be. A reality to some, maybe a dream to others. Moments contained by my eyes of vision and concern. Faith for a destination famed and graced. A clown that left a circus for tears shed in his or hers or laughs. Shame from actually. Rumors by chance of chase. This makes upon me of a design chosen from likely. I'm a dreamer fascinated for someone to wake up of everlasting opportunities.
Okay.
And selfishness. I'm worthy of worthless detail to fractured, falsated, for the fulfillment's concern and concentrated shells of ideas. A day of really questioned this undetermined universe made me shine. Bright my division of driven into a world of no passenger to travel desires. These stitches of no Snickers to stickers in the help of heal took scars to a place that wounds of impression impressive toward struggles be behind my bind. My gather of circumstances of the surface surgically satisfy salvation within fortified. I'll ask in return from dimensions beyond hemispheres of heartache. Let my time on earth be real. I'm not the representative.
Okay, bro. All right. You in the building. You're in the building. All right, Brother Jrob, we're going to come back with you. Let's spin the block.
All right, cool. I'll change up the tone a little bit. My love is so strong, it needs a new name, like lower level, like the baggage claim with big signs. Someone should call me home. Pincushion this smile to dark clouds and burning sky. My love should be named everything overwhelming. My love actually sings in the shower, screams in empty rooms. My love finds his voice when no one is around. This way, no one can steal it. See, I forgot my voice had a name one day. I noticed because I called it and it never answered back. Instead, it found a new home. It got lost in someone's closet. She kept it hidden until nighttime and then she reused it, dressed it in her loneliness. She taught it to say, I need you with my eyes closed, and then my love was naked. Stood outside waiting in the rain, no boots, no hat, no one close enough to kiss or wrap their arms around to keep me close. My love never gave up. It found a way to hum rainbows and blues from the darkest holes, dressed its wavering body in hope, just like the generations who tucked love behind wedding bells and still made a home of lonely dinner tables and tears that reinvent themselves. You see, my love, when love hates the snow and rain or anything that says running won't be easy, my love has become cold, like cast iron on December Sundays. So my love can't spell these days. Hides his darkness in pretty poems and a friendly voice, probably afraid someone will find him, so he hides on purpose and carries a sign that says 5 miles before the next heartbeat. My love sings gospel backwards, lays his head in warm arms and a beautiful red smile. Someone found him worthy again, and this time love says good morning behind a curtain, and he wears a blanketed smile that feels like, well, it feels like safety, because love can't face another assassination attempt, especially when being vulnerable feels like suicide. So sometimes my love speaks Spanish. I've heard it's the best way to learn scripture, so I teach him how to find his holy in his own reflection. I know some will call it a blessing, others will call it lucky. I find a mixture in both, but mainly at night. And now my love has its own refuge, a quiet corner where rose petals become soft pillows. But this time I gave it a new name, and I placed it where sunlight and morning sky can call it free. If it doesn't work this time, I'll probably have to find a new name. Anything that will teach it how to simply love.
Straight snaps.
All right. That's right, brother. Do your thing. All right. Minister.
Okay. I don't know how I ended up being the only female on here tonight. My goodness.
It's all God.
All right.
You
So
got this.
another new one is called Sexual Encounter. Amidst the heat of passion's flame, two bodies entwined with no shame. Breathless gasps and fevered skin. In this moment, they both give in. A union of flesh, a dance of desire, an unspoken language, a wordless choir. Senses heightened, hearts ablaze, lost in the rhythm of love's sweet craze. Hands roam freely, exploring each curve. Lips meet in hunger, each one to serve. Tongues intertwine, tasting the other. A dance of ecstasy like no other. Moans and whispers fill the air as two souls become one with no care. In this moment, nothing else exists. just the two of them lost in bliss. As the climax nears, the world fades away, nothing left but the pleasure they play. And when it's done, they lie entwined, drunk on passion, their hearts align.
Snaps, snaps,
I
snaps.
know. All right, brother, unique.
Well, this one basic came off of yesterday, in general. I look at life in a sense of determination and not being categorized. So me writing this piece is called clarification. Being born into a realm of indifferences, life has difficulty in measuring up to pertaining, avenues of encouraging opportunity to opportunistic use, leaves ways towards paths of uncertainties. Probability plays stories as the scripts and acting of accordingly. General conversations carry questions of sustainable and awareness of awkward fashion. Suppose to wait his turn, reveal sits and cut, almost as never the way. Maybe has a turn to talk. Controversy just begins to get dressed up as controversy walks up and no turnaround. That's not my problem. Solutions gets into the fights over behavior of uncertainties. Necessary relates to feeding the sensitive, sensible feedback. At the ongoing of advertising, advocating for others' thoughts, realize, regain consciousness, forsake, and forgiveness. By illumination of mind settings of findings of hopes, dreams became awareness of awesome and aware. Altitude became the reaches of touch and conclusives. Foundation stayed at my feet, seemingly from the strength of my changes around me. My purposeful made waves of waves. Emerging mentally gave stability. Time made mountains vocabularies worth the wait for, giving hands for hell from my patience. According to my accountments of my counter, without incriminating myself, sound gave voice to skeleton that stayed amongst the lanes and sacrifice. Staging furthermore to the extended of externals of cavity mindsets. I am of this world and independence. I'm here for a presence recognized from unknown. I'm source energy from enemies. I'm inebriated from of separation. Because one day I'll get into collided with the confusion, the contusions confused to a world entangled. That day I'll realize the voices of converted ears listening. I'll be clarification.
All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you for that piece, brother.
Appreciate it.
Keish,
Okay, I do have to leave, unfortunately. I'm Minister Keisha L. Peterson, and I'm already connected with Unique and Joel. Ja, I want to connect with you on Facebook, Instagram. You can find me under my name, and I'm sure you're connected with Joel.
Yeah, you
All
can.
right, so I'll
I'm,
go on
I'm,
there.
I'm Coach Josh Smalls on Instagram, Josh Smalls on Facebook. Real easy to find.
Okay, there we go. I have to go. A young lady's work is never done. Love you guys, and I
love you
look forward to
too.
doing
Thank
this
you.
again. Nice to
Salute.
finally meet you, Unique.
You bless.
Appreciate you. All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to go into this piece. It's called Coming Along. Play your cards. Put it on the glass table with no chips. Same way I ride around in that eggshell nice whip. Cruise upon the game. Recognize a poker face. Traits might be the same, so I'm in a place that's out of state. Grab a vibe that's instrumental. Structure words forming lines. Any mountain of thoughts I climb, leaving weak minds behind. Been through much matters, mapped out many issues. Some of the things that lift you can be the same thing to dish you. Knock on the door of Lady Luck, she in bed with Father Time. Entering rooms blind, keeping the angel sound of chimes. Windows and walls, wooden floors with broken halls. Burner phone calls, reach out and touch the ones before. I'm used to having chores. Since a youth, I was cool. Hanging with certain dudes, yet still I learned many rules. Moved amongst vultures, in and out of my culture. Molding my own awareness. Through observation, this is my sculpture. King.
That's what's up. Definitely.
Thank you.
Question, fellas. As our terminology of defining how we represent ourselves in this poetry world, if you had one word, what would that word describe you as?
That is interesting. In all honesty, for me, I would stick with a name that was actually given to me, Walimu, which means teacher in Swahili. And I say that because not only do I teach, but I'm always trying to educate somebody with something, even through my work. Like when we started talking about, things, how I get to work and, when my mindset is not working the way I want it to, right? And I go and learn something else, I'm going to teach somebody else. So I would stick with that, only because it really is the truth of who I am. And then I'm the oldest of 8 children, so I kind of was teaching all my life anyway.
I feel you on that. You know what I mean? Mine would just be Oz, which was supposed to be there's the initials of the name I was supposed to be given at birth. So Abdul Halim Salam, which is peaceful servant of Allah, and that's why I carry myself righteously in this world, you know what I'm saying, and not really fake out on my faith and my hope, you know what I mean? So that's why I have determination and drive to do whatever I want to do, when I want to do it, and through the grace of Allah, you know what I'm saying, move in that direction, you know what I mean? So that's AHS, but pronunciated Oz, you know what I mean?
The word I chose was innocence, because of the fact that most of us coming from a world of sin, considerably born in, we are a realm of the things that we are surrounded by, so we fall victim to a lot of this. And by falling victim to them, we get in categories of being designated to directions that our perfections seem to be overlooked. So whatever describes you as who you are, that's your makeup. Most of the time when we grew up in school, that can't be you, or this not going to be what you're going to become. So if you feel of greatness at the age of an early state of mind, and you fall victim to things that happened down in your past, you still was great at what you did. It's just how people looked at you, or their perception may not be your following, so that don't belong to you.
True indeed. A lot of things you can't own what somebody else's issue or problem is. You know what I mean? Sometimes people just have to figure it out and embrace that. You know what I mean? Especially those out there that are, empaths. You know what I'm saying? They take on other people's energy. You know what I mean? Very fast and quick. I learned, I'm an empath myself, so I learned what to do with that. You know what I mean? And it's all about recycling the energy and recalibrating yourself. You know what I mean? So you gotta keep your prayers intact, prayers in check. I mean, but I feel you on that, good brother. You know what I mean? But we're gonna rotate back with this poetry, man.
Okay.
Brother Ja, what you got for us?
Let me find me another one.
Right. It's cool, man. It's cool.
Find me another one. Hold on, let me see. I better do it from my computer, not my phone. That ain't hitting no nothing. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to read from my latest book on compassion. It's a book I wrote for homeless awareness. We had an event with the museum. So all the poems are centered around homeless awareness. Y'all can hear me, right? You see me good?
Loud and clear.
This one is called When You See Love. I'm not sure if there was a full moon or the day the orange sky curtained the 5 o'clock traffic. All I remember was his face, the eyes that claim God's spirit without a voice. I remember the way his hands hung like soup bowls at the ends of his wrists. From where I stood, I could see last night's teardrops crusted against his smile. Sleep hadn't found him easy, you can tell by the luggage and the dark halos holding his pupils hostage. I would say the same for his companion, the friend with her head cushioned against whatever belonging she could find. But she laid still, like an infant treasure tucked against mother's first promise. I've passed this corner for a long time now. The same cardboard boxes, empty beer cans lining the brick walls, and the hardest part is turning away, pretending I, like everyone else, cannot feel my pulse when walking past a human, skin crushed between soiled clothes and crusted concrete. How can a smile find this space? Claim a spirit filled with nothing but wonders and maybes, hoping a better day means warm bread and something soft to coat an empty stomach. I've passed this block a number of times. Remember the tan colors and matching plastic bags, the plastic spoons used when slurping the $1 egg drop soup he loved to bring her. I've known love a time before, bigger than first dates and wedding bells. Those that never felt divorce, or high school sweethearts that found tomorrow morning on the same pillows. Some only know love on a big screen pictured through someone else's imagination. I've seen love at first sight, standing on this corner, passing the same couple every day for years until they were no more. I'm not sure if it was a full moon or the day the orange sky curtained the 5 o'clock traffic. All I know is I saw love and two hearts who lived love on much more than bread and water alone.
That's deep.
Hey,
That's deep.
right,
That's
brother.
deep right there.
Definitely was. It was A1, brother. That was definitely A1, man. Appreciate hearing that poem, man. Jeez. All right, brother. Unique. What you got for us, brother?
Well, basically, I'm looking at that conversation that he gave us, that we as people need to be a vehicle in life instead of sitting still and giving ideas and taking ideas and being selfish with it. So this piece called Vehicle.
Okay.
Journey me. Take a ride within life expected takes control. Give me avenues. Give me directions. Show destination places unseen to the naked eyes, viewing differently, even in difficulty. Transform measures so understandable, make sending sensitive knowledgeable for the untrained aspect of explain and experience. Wake my mind up if absent, can't forget access to accomplishment. Face mental mirroring and monitoring of doesn't having problematic. Tackling turbulence as if a service is struggling a court, give areas sacrifice, allowing growth potential involving idea of being. Circle me to a table so going around won't go unnoticed. Look at the shine of intersection of hoping, giving path or crossing intersection, entering, trajecting, jetting one another. Allow my presumably of a character showing faces of a judgment, giving decisions after the fact. Find me slow to pay attention to, can't absorb, giving portion possibility prescriptions in the personal or persuasive. Charter my soul in the basic or necessary, giving measure up I can. Let my control fall short for giving scrutinized, some reluctant. I can be of a solution when solid has a surface balance. I can only place different when difficulty puts up a fight. I can only satisfy the stay when action has taken a place. Lay my joy amongst the laugh as if a cry performed in no shame. At the end of the day, based off fascinating, my resume of results raised in my mental will get practical to belief that every will ever recognize based off of change, charge, and perception. Will becoming of a becoming better than the contained of soul of option stored by observation. Take me to arrive of ability to wait will be in the patience of days to come. You will come to me, no derailment called vehicle.
Okay, bro. That's what's up. Nice piece, man.
Thanks, bro.
Definitely walk down there. All right. This piece is titled Another Day. Mask worn, displaying displaced auras, doesn't matter whatever color. Daddy need a news cover just to help the mother supper. Was she cooking while mixing this different type of food for thought? Taking elders' sense of living, which can expand upon a course. The science behind findings between literature and pamphlets. Prophecy bandits teaching cultures questions and answer it. Break down the quotes written inside the era of what was then. Don't spread the word so thin, we need the vibe to never end. Outside theatrics blasted on the lost mindset of sleepwalkers. Shut down the slick talkers who saw you creep around those corners. Hold the peace so it reach a meet and greet those that seek. May this leak inside a public that is open to life that speak. King.
Facts, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right. Can I ask a question? Let me ask a question. As being a coach, you ever get lost in your privileges of acceptance?
That's an excellent question, and the answer is no. So I'm still not comfortable with people saying they're fans of my work, and I say that because I'm a quote one of my brothers. AJ always says things like, "These poems are not ours. This gift is not mine. Right? I'm just a vessel." And so I'm still in this, what I do, and that this is what I do and not who I am. So it doesn't interfere with, you know what I mean? I don't get trapped in that concept. I'm always humbled and mellow to the point where I'm okay with, you know what I mean? It's just the accolades the accolades don't make me comfortable because I don't do this for you to acknowledge me. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this because I want you to learn something or gain something. And it's because I love to do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a great question though.
That's what's up.
The other thing for you, Mr. Atterbury, when I say that to say that, does providence come with sacrifice when you give so much of yourself in making the makings of the man of who you are and sharing your acknowledgments to bring other people into your safe space?
Well, I'm an open person a lot of times. You know what I mean? So I always keep my faith in God, you know what I'm saying, and just allow the creator to protect me against anything. So at moments there could be a safeguard, but at the same time, I'll just remove that barrier and just have it as an open field. You know what I mean? And that's when the writing comes into play. You know what I mean? So you write, it could be encouragement, it could be protection against yourself because you know who you are. So you walk this earth in your God body state of mind. You know what I'm saying? So you'll never fear anything that's challenged. Because if you can challenge yourself and be okay with that and walk tall, stand tall and broad, you ain't got nothing to fear except the creator. So
do you feel being criticized from, just for both of you brothers, being the journeys that you've taken, or this is the direction that you feel as though you deserve to be in?
yeah, I know I deserve to be where I want to be at. And I made it. It's like that joint. You say, Mama, I made it. I mean, so we all go through our challenges in life, you know what I'm saying? Go through things and whatnot. So when you beat out the odds can't get even. You know what I'm saying? So you be right there on deck. So, comfortable in my own skin I'm in. You know what I mean? Yeah.
How you feel about that, Coach?
I don't know if deserve is even it, right? Because it's life, right? If I decide to play basketball, whether I go pro or not, I'm going to play basketball. So I don't know if I deserve it, but that's where I went. That's the path that I went. And I say that because let's look at an inmate, someone who's in prison. They committed a crime, but they deserve to be in jail the rest of their life. So it's just life. And so the creator gave me a gift of writing and wordplay. And so I don't know if I deserve it, but I've earned it. I've earned the right to be here in it. And I said it because I'm coming up my 10th year anniversary doing this full time after I was disabled from my job. And I'm doing everything that they told me I would never be able to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, I still have my limitations, right? But I walked it. You know what I mean? I saw it, I chose it, and I went with it. So I don't know if I deserve it, but I know I appreciate it, and I know I belong here.
So I can say, speaking to you two guys in general as my brothers, you're accountable to the accountability of life learns lessons, and you prevail from other people's falsifications of what they assumed you will become or turn out to be, and you just went to this evolution of the next realm.
Facts.
That's the plight of the black man.
Word up. You know what I mean? But just to say though, you know what I'm saying, Coach, you dope and fly, yo. You know what I'm saying? Your cadence and flow, the way you flip things, man. I've heard you spit in different areas and whatnot. I'm like, yo, Coach is dope. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it, bro. I just tell the thing is, as writers, right, and as poets, we can't be the same poet. Right. You if you're not growing from where you at, you're not doing enough work in there. And so I challenge myself just as much as I challenge people in my workshops, because I want to be the best me. I'm always the best me when I sit down. And whether I was better last night or today, I'm the best me right in this moment. And that's just, I challenge everybody. That's what we should be as poets.
Hey man, that's what's up. True facts. Oh man.
Yeah, because the reason why I said that, because yesterday I had wrote this quote: if you don't hold accountability to solutions to your reasons, then you're the problem. Remove self from the equation. And I looked at a lot of that from where we have a standpoint. And if we don't, like you said earlier, we don't challenge ourselves, because I don't feel as though no one's better than me. It's the equipment of them taking things to a place of having me be more mental about the observations that's going on around me. That's what you said earlier about that safe space. I can't be in a safe space because that don't give somebody else another viewing or of how I should be, because now you challenging me to be a better person, under those circumstances. That's how I look at it, because if I don't look at the pieces that I write, what you see in, I sent to my brother as well, those things that you see me talk about right now in my writings, that's in my head. I can't remember the stuff that we just spoke about. That's me picking up the phone and just typing it off the top of my head. Those pieces that I read just now took me maybe 10, 15 minutes a piece. And that's just off the top. And what you said earlier about somebody having writer's block, I always challenge the people in my circle just to pick up a pen. Nothing is a mistake, because that's you. So if you can't represent yourself, there's no reason for to be in this game. As I spoke to my brother before, I used to be up at Marlowe's in Irvington. Everybody sound the same. I was supposed to be on that poetry jam. It got to a point where everybody sounded like they were sick. Everybody had asthma. Everybody was, trying to give off this impression, but that wasn't them. So after that poetry jam, you didn't hear nobody. A lot of them people fell off.
Yep, my brother Witz, he's in the feed too. He always say, "Heavy is the crown, the head of a king," right? And I had to look at that deeply, because even if you don't consider yourself king, you are king of your shell, right? The Most High is first, but you are king. So you walk with a crown. And you have to own that crown like that. And I had to think about when he said it, like every day you got to adjust your crown. Every day you got to dust it off. You got to spit shine it sometimes. Sometimes it's a little crooked. Sometimes you got to put it to the side because you feel a little gangster. You know what I mean? But that's your crown. And if you don't adjust your crown to what's happening, bro, you lost. And I think that's what's I always say the plight of the black man, right? The black man first has to understand that there's a crown that you was given from birth. I don't care what religion you have. The fact that you are breathing, you have a crown. I don't care if you're in prison, right? You made mistakes. You took a path that put you in there. That don't change the man. That changes the circumstance. So how do you wear your crown in your circumstance? You know what I mean? That is your duty to wear your crown properly.
That's right.
Because somebody don't have no crown. Somebody don't have it.
Ooh.
So I tell you, that's true indeed, God. You know what I mean? Like you gotta wear it how you wear it. You know what I'm saying? Walk it how you talk it how you walk it. You know what I'm saying? That's true facts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got fit
what you see here, how I am, that's how I am every day. You know what I'm saying? Even at work or whatever. I don't put on no facade in front of any race of people. I'm just me. That's my personality. Mm-hmm. And how I spit my poems is just where I'm in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm me. Yeah. I don't walk around with a mask on. Trust me or not. I mean, what you see is what you get. You know what I mean? So sometimes you can be quiet. Sometimes you can have loud, silent thoughts. Just like the title of my book. You know what I mean? I did that for a reason. Mm-hmm. Because that's a lot of times I walk around with loud, silent thoughts. You know? But brothers, we getting towards the end of the mark. But I would like to hear some more of that dope, beautiful poetry you brothers have, though.
But so since my mom's is here, I like to do her poem since she's in the feed, if that's cool with y'all.
Oh, that's what's up.
This was actually a writing prompt, and I just went with it. So let's see how this goes.
Peace to my dukes, man.
Yeah, my homies in the building. In 1912, this particular building was constructed in New York City. And although there were other names attributed to this fixture, the treachery of white supremacy made her latest name world known. The seats were filled. Shoulders rest like bowling pins in perfect order. The key of B found the perfect 82 beats per minute. The singer sang, "You were there for me. No one else should come between this love I know, because I'll never let you go." The glorious brown of her skin begins to glow. Center stage anticipates her movements, hands grace between air and piano chords. She spins to melodies that remind us of the elements. The spotlight calls her, casts her shadow with God's approval. You can see her eyes close, arms gracefully butterfly themselves before the masses. No one is breathing on their own. Every limb playing to a language of love. Her voice captures his movements. "You were there for me," he said. Hum through the spouting of her eyelids. Tears puddled the same spot where bullet casings married the ground, where police tape claimed it was a crime scene. Her tears rippled to the sound of someone yelling, "They killed Malcolm!" Her foot soles lift the ground. Arms found freedom while matching the thick of the atmosphere. Her energy went from confusion to pain as assassination found itself at the point of her toes. Every lift, every spin, every pirouette settled to the cadence of her routine. Donny Hathaway's voice mirrored the keys. It seems like Malcolm's spirit never left this room. Carried the baritone between 82 beats per minute, 6 paces to the next pirouette and bounce. Her son's voice found a poem. Her daughters found their steps, wanting her shoes. Sister Betty was there. Attila Shabazz remembered the gunshots. They called it Harlem Blues, but we called it America. Called it injustice. Gave it a name America always taught us to call it. Her legs were strong, held the weight of the world between her whirling fingers. See, Naomi began to dance and worship. Allah remembered her sequence. Made the sky cry in remembrance, made it seem like my Omi did a rain dance, and she blessed what most cannot stomach, told her truth because the lie had already been taken its course. A song for you puddled the eyes of little ghetto boys. For all we knew, giving up was not an option. Pattern, where is the love within this moment? I got lost in her moments. Remember the embryonic fluid against my canvas. I closed my eyes again. Listen to the wind find its way against her face, along her fingertips, under the padding positioned between her feet and the graveyard of that crime scene. 82 beats per minute. 10 toes lifting her tiny frame in revelation to this song, finding its last dance from the last riff, shots echoing against a 53-year-old walls that told us who the culprits really were. It was a night to remember. This Christmas seemed forever away, like someone else told the story, gave it principle, made the spotlight glow against her spirit. Have you ever seen an angel dance? Treading through wind gusts that gave innocence movements. Planet celestial in bended knees, sanctioned to the elegance of systematic movements, gracing fingers. It's a God-given talent. And I watched it through the lens of a son, and we heard it through the rhythm of Malcolm's last breath.
Yo.
Salute.
A1, brother. A1.
Fire,
That was deep,
fire.
dope, fly. That was fire. You know what I mean? Very nice. Thank you for bringing that forth. You know what I mean? So, brother Unique, what you got for us, brothers, before I take us home?
I appreciate that, man, because of the idea of you reaching out to me. This piece is for the people that don't understand where we live at in this realm of the world. I just ask for you to smile for me. I came into this world with innovation of innocence, capable of change, creative moments not disturbed, an action of no critical criticism, a togetherness by flanges dangerous to the dangle. A world imagined in images of ample measures of successful and no compared, shoulders valued by balanced, reciprocal shared to taste, talks, conditioned, and considerable. Being of a nature filled in lungs of oxygenated by the living, I'm lively to lovely being lingered. An awareness of an awake, surging to a torn from a wound of umbilical to ambitious cut corded. A courage dressed in situations suited, sauce pertained and reminded. Hopes having ways of sway, giving meals of measure scented to perhapsons, perhaps. Penetrate my parallel of precision, don't discriminate. Embrace my intake of oxygen, breath, bistros. Chest exuberant to arrival, arised. Grab my analytical ability to be of a captured many views. Possible my mental to change of chances in change. One remains a realm by my hemispheric splits. Curiously, curtaining opportunities for skies starts embeddable to embrace towards a lay, not concrete, to shape shed it. Finding a complicated quality questionnaire to thoughts unprepared by prepared. Concrete consideration being complete. Build a close without pretend. Call effortless vocaling vocabularies of actions offering sustainable situation, spare rhythm. Relationship ingredients, routines to rooted reluctantly, colorfully complete. I ask as I asked individually mirrored. I'll come again against the serving of outstanding outstretched. Past tail touched, trailed from a follow. The lava strings, planet frames, blocked from my impassioned, incompetent, incoherent, innocent to camouflage by intelligence preferred. Within the willingness warranted, I ask the president to present an offer wrapped in my arms. Talk to a volunteer voiced filled in illumination by a screen, allowed this cry in the audience for heard. Cornered no longer cornered, became a full cry from a full circle, going around effortlessly ineffective. I'll wait in my time as you smile for me.
All right, brother. That's what's up. Appreciate that piece. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Click, share, and subscribe to the channel so you can get those notifications. I'd like to thank Minister Keisha, for coming through tonight. Brother Coach Josh Smalls, Brother Unique. Fellas, any last words before we take it home?
I appreciate this audience in so many aspects, as I saw Coach shaking his head, because some of the things like we do in each other's and remarks, some of the things that we share, we are part of those conversations that you've written down. And that makes me feel great as a person, because I'm being heard and I'm being felt. And the same thing reluctant with you guys, because if it wasn't for other people accepting our ways of being redempting of our losses turning into gains,
right,
we wouldn't be polished pearls.
Thanks, no doubt. Appreciate that. Coach?
Yeah, I just firstly, thanks for having me, man. It's an honor to be here, and be amongst great poets. Like it's nothing like when poets get together.
No doubt.
I tell people I don't care what, and I say this a lot because we live in a world where people are highly religious and spiritual. Regardless of what your religion is or your spirituality essence is, they always got the poets to write the words. And so we're part of your gospel, if you would, your Torah, your Quran, whatever your Jalil, whatever it is that you study, right? It started with a poet. Even when the angel Jibril came to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he didn't speak words that was for everyone. It was a poetic journey, and the Prophet recited. That's what Quran means. He recited the poetic form that you hear every day that doesn't change. And so I say, as a poet, as a writer, the gift is yours, but it's not for you. And be the vessel. Tell your truth and speak to everybody. That's what you got that gift for. And I hope that my goal is to always live in that and walk in that journey, man. So peace and blessings, man. I thank y'all so much for being here. This has been amazing.
No doubt,
Appreciate it, bro.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. We'll see you next Tuesday, same time, same network. We out here. Peace.
It seems to me that the artist struggle for his integrity is a kind of metaphor, must be considered as a metaphor for the struggle which is universal and daily of all human beings on the face of this terrifying globe to get to become human beings.